Hey, Mystic Michaela spiritual family. Welcome to Know Your Aura with Mystic Michaela. Today, talking about building that very important relationship with your angels, with the ones sending you messages, including angel numbers. Also, it's our 111th episode. So excited, so grateful, so blessed. But first, hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys. Actually, I do have a question about 111 and 222 and all those numbers that we always talk about. Now, I know when you see 111 or you see 222, you're supposed to do something, right?
Right.
Take a snapshot, whatever you come up with, blah, 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 blah. We've already actually talked about it on a previous episode. I totally forgot what we said, but...
Going to have to get you to read a book.
Yeah, well, a few weeks I'll read your book. But
okay.
But what if you actually just hear it? Like right now I'm going to say 111. Does that mean anything?
It totally counts. Yeah.
Really? So it's seeing or hearing.
Yeah, you don't remember this, but like back when I was deciding, oh my gosh, like I was really at a crossroads. Like, do I go back to teaching or do I really put all my energy into this aura reading stuff? Because I was at that point a fefew years ago. And I had to make a decision. And I was seeing like all these signs everywhere. And at the time, Brianna, and it's going to kill me. How old was she? I think she was 4. She was 4, and she said, and they came home from school or whatever, and I had been seeing all these signs, and I asked, okay, can I like one more sign? Because I need to know that this is the right place to put all my energy and whatnot. And she's like, hey, Mommy, guess what? Today's Dr. Seuss's 111th birthday, because they were learning about it in school. And I was like, oh, my God, that's weird. Yeah, if you hear it, it counts. If you see configurations of the number, it counts too. Like maybe in nature, you see kind of like something that looks like 111 or 222. Kind of if you see like 2 birds sitting on your car or patterns of things, like that counts too. So any sort of thing that you see and, you know, the shapes of things or whatever, all that can count.
All right. So I'm just going to shout out some numbers and hopefully 214, 377, 581.
You know, one person will be like, that was my number.
Yeah. I'm going to get like a DM now, you know, saying, oh, that was my number.
It's like your big goal. Yeah.
All right. So that's good to know. I didn't know that. Good to know. All right. Interesting. So I think before we actually get started, you know, we're going to talk about Disney, our trip to Disney and Aura Color in a little bit. But before that, I think we need to do a huge thank you to the fans, to everyone that listens, to Adam and the team at Wave, to Jemmy who started us in the beginning, because, you know, without all that, we wouldn't be here.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, we, in the beginning, did not know from week to week if the podcast was going to keep going.
Yeah.
You know, we had decisions to make at the beginning. It was all funded by donations.
All donations.
And a few sponsors from the Mystic Michaela spiritual family.
Yes.
Like Nancy Anderson and people like that.
Backblade.
Yeah. And we didn't know. We had no idea. We actually got the thing that actually kept us going was an 1111 bomb.
Oh my God.
Which we do every year now on the Mystic Michaela spiritual family page.
Yeah. To other people.
Right. To other people. But the first year they did it to us.
Yeah. On 1111. All of a sudden, I open up my PayPal because it cost us money every week to put on, and a lot of money too, like to make the episode, because you know you have to pay to edit, and rightfully so. It's a job. It's a big job.
Yeah,
and you have to pay to edit. And we were like, okay, we'll just go week to week, and it was getting to the point where everyone was like, oh, when's the next episode? And it's like, oh my God, we have to pay for that, and it was kind of like a do or die. And then I open up my phone and you all 1111 bombed me. Like, and this was just so unexpected. And because of that, we were funded for many more weeks.
Right.
Because of you all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get emotional thinking about it.
Yeah. And that is true. And we weren't as consistent back then also because we weren't doing it every single week. I think we punched out every week of the year here, except for the 2 for Christmas. And New Year's, but no, it's been an incredible journey. It's because of them, that keep us going. You know, that you always said that. You know, if you need them to, you know, you need that support, whatever.
Yeah, 100%. Like if I remember, like at this point, I was like, listen, like I'm not going to continue if people don't want it. You know, obviously, like this was something I wanted to try, and we tried it, and it just took off. And at one point it was like, okay, I can't keep just asking for donations, or like it was getting hard to keep up the financing part. And then like an angel swooping in, Wave Podcast Network picked us up. And then I never had to worry about it anymore. They just took over. So I really feel like, and this is just for all of you too listening, if something's meant to be, it'll just happen. And it'll just happen. And it's not, and it'll be a lot of hard work, but you won't hit a bunch of closed doors, you know? Like, there's a difference between hard work and struggle. And for some things in your life, and this was with me, this has been a lot of hard work, but it's been amazing how it's just because of all of you, it's been a flow. So I'm very appreciative of every single one of you. I mean, the stories that we hear fuel me. And I know they fuel you too, Scott. Like people telling me, my relationship with my mother is better because I understand her through aura color now. Or my husband and I listen on Thursday nights and we discuss after. Or my best friends, we get together and I'll do aura color stuff. You know, I'll never forget getting a picture of a girls' trip and they all wore their aura colors to camping. I mean, it's hysterical to me and it's so touching. People telling me how this got them through sickness in their life. They listened during chemo. People telling me they listened, you know, after a death of a loved one. People telling me they listened during tough transitions. People telling me they listened during stay-at-home orders. I mean, that any of this resonates in any way is fuel to me. And I'm just so blessed for each and every one of you that you could get anything out of this podcast, because it is truly for you and about you.
Yeah. I mean, just for me, it's changed me. Actually doing this podcast. I mean, I make it about me now. I have to.
Here we go. Make it about you, Scotty.
No, I mean, the stuff that I've learned through listening to your teachings and you doing those teachings, you know, as me as an example. Using me as an
You're
example.
always my example.
Yeah.
You are. You're always my
I mean, I've had a couple breakdowns on the podcast. You know, you've read my grandparents. You've on the podcast one episode. You went into my inner child on one episode. I was hypnotized on one episode.
Oh my God, you were.
So, you know, I've learned so much about myself through this and understanding my colors, which I didn't understand as well.
It's helped me too. You know, just like when I was teaching, you know, sometimes breaking this stuff down into teachable chunks, it's been good for me too, because like now in life, as I go through life, I'm like, you know, if something happens to me or I see something or during a reading, I'm like, man, that would make a great podcast episode. You know, it's great for me to kind of put it all together. And I feel like, I can put it down and maybe can help somebody else be a catalyst in their life the way it was a catalyst for somebody else. So it's helped me too kind of organize myself, which, you know, I'm purple, so I need lots of help with that. So we are so thankful to you all.
We are so thankful, so grateful. All right, we have an ad from Upstart.
Yeah.
And then when we come back, we're going to talk about our trip to Disney in aura color.
You guys, yeah. What would you do if you didn't have those high interest loans or credit card debt? Can you imagine what freedom that would feel like for you? Well, with Upstart, you can pay off your existing debt quickly and easily. And, you know, you can start living your life without that weight, without that burden. Upstart is the fast and easy way to pay off your debt with a personal loan, all online. Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high-interest debt, or funding personal expenses, over 1 million people have used Upstart to get one fixed monthly payment with a clear payoff date. Rather than looking at credit score alone, Upstart considers other factors like your income, your current employment, and credit history to find you a smarter rate for your loan. You can check your rate without impacting your credit score in minutes. For loans between $1,000 to $50,000, you can even receive funds as fast as one business day after accepting your loan. So, find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/KYA. That's upstart.com/KYA. Don't forget to use our URL to let them know we sent you. We appreciate that. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. That's upstart.com/KYA. Hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys.
So, poor Scott. the last time we went to Disney, I think the kids were 9 and what is it? 9 and help me out with math.
2?
3. 9 and 3.
Okay.
And last time we went to Magic Kingdom, and you were like, don't ask me to come back here for 5 years. Well, it's been less than 5 years because you wanted to go to King's Landing, which is this place you can kayak in, Central Florida. And of course, you got shut down hard. I was willing to go. The children were like, no. They refused. They found all these TikTok videos of alligators coming up to people and hissing. And
I wanted to do the Canoe of Tragedies again, okay?
Yeah, and the kids were like hard no. And I'm like, listen, you're so affected by them. Like, I'm the type, I can do this. This is where my indigo does not. Like, my feeling other people's feelings is my own. Like, you know what? I don't care. Like, get in the canoe. You'll have a good time. And after, we won't remember that you whined. It's good for you. It's fun. No alligators are going to hiss at you. It's fine. And you're like, no, I can't. Like, because you just can't handle anybody being upset during something you're trying to have fun at. And meanwhile, your mom kept saying, oh, I really want to go to Epcot. I really want to go to Epcot one of these days. Epcot. We've never been to Epcot. And so it all came together. And here we are. We bought tickets to Epcot for the Monday before Thanksgiving.
Right. So here's the list of characters.
Of characters. Okay, give us the cast.
So, all right. Myself, red and blue. Mystic Michaela, purple and indigo. Brianna, red and purple. Abby, turquoise and purple. My dad, Bert, free Bert, yellow, blue. And my mom, red and purple.
Okay.
All right. So those are there are everybody's order.
Helene, because that'll come up a lot.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
All right, so that's the cast. That's our cast. That's who you're going. Now, we're going, we drive to Orlando. We get to the hotel all right away. I feel like you, Scott, were determined to be grumpy red the entire trip. And I'm going to tell you, my purple loved it. It was hysterical to me. It was so funny how grumpy you were. Brianna and I were dying. We kept taking pictures of you when you didn't know you were looking because your arms were crossed and you were slumping in corners looking grumpy.
I didn't know that.
You just didn't want to be there. It was 100% obvious to us all that you hate Disney and you didn't want to be there, but you were going. And you made yourself leader of the trip.
Okay. The first thing is, checking into a hotel with my parents is an ordeal.
It is. It's true.
They have my mom has 100 questions. She's screaming in my ear. She's screaming at everyone. They scream a lot. They do.
They're not screaming in a bad way. They just talk very loudly and they don't understand that there's other people in a hotel lobby that can hear it.
Right. And normally when we go, the four of us, we have Hilton. I only go Hilton, not an ad. And I have my Hilton app, and I check in before, and everything's all set.
You're very Red Aura proud of being a Diamond member,
right? But they had points. Okay, so they had points, so they treated us to the hotel.
Very sweet.
But they don't have the app. They don't know how to check in.
Yeah.
They call. Who calls to make a hotel room? They still call and get an agent. So the whole thing was a mess. So right from the start, the rooms were not the rooms that we wanted. They had one room on the third floor, one room on the sixth floor. So it was a whole mess. One room was ready, one room was not ready.
Yeah.
So it was, it wasn't the easiest of
And your dad,
entries.
he's a yellow, and he's very organized, but he stopped. He's yellow 1995. It's he stopped. Because yellows usually are really up on tech, and they're really up on organizing, and they're up on self-improvement, and a yellow today would have been on top of the apps and stuff like that. But he's on top of calling. So you're dealing with a yellow person who's why don't you just call, Scott? Why don't you call this number?
Right.
And it's nobody cares when you call anymore.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so it's just a lot of that.
All right.
The three of you.
So we finally get checked in. Abby goes to the pool, has the time of her life.
Yes.
Everything's good. There's free snacks, so now everyone's happy.
Everybody's happy. Free snacks,
Right. Then we decide we're going to go to Disney Springs. That's if you've never been to Disney Springs, that's their restaurants.
It's free to go in.
Yeah, it's free to go in. They have all their restaurants, their shops, but it is insane there.
I didn't think it was that bad.
There was hundreds and thousands of millions of people.
If it's not hot, I don't notice the crowds as much, and it was nice and cool. But yes, there were a lot of people, and there was no way to get a restaurant reservation. That's true.
Right. Yeah, the wait times are ridiculous. Now, there's 6 of us.
There's 6, yes.
The 5 of you, have no idea where they're going.
I don't know where I am.
I'm the only, and By the way, we've been there many times.
I still don't. I'll never know where I am.
Okay, so I know the place pretty well. I can't get lost there. The rest of you are like just wandering around, head in the clouds. Pretty. Yeah.
Look at the tree.
I mean,
take a picture.
Right. So it's almost, so I'm basically the leader. I'm the rat. I'm leading.
You're so angry the whole time. You're like, this way. Stop looking at the tree.
I never said stop looking at I don't recall ever saying stop looking at the tree.
And we're getting hungry.
Right.
So that's like when, I wasn't getting hungry, but the rest of you are like getting a little cranky, hungry. Well, nobody's cranky. You were getting cranky and hungry, but the kids were like, I'm hungry, I want chicken.
Well, they didn't eat it. It was like 9 p.m.
It's true. People were hungry. And I guess as a mother, I should have cared more. It's just I was in Disney and I get very distracted.
Right. And so we're I'm going up to every restaurant, trying to get a reservation. I'm even telling them, hey, just could you read their colors? I'm like, could you just read the whole
thing? You were trying. Yeah. I'm like, Scott, nobody cares.
I think they would have.
And your dad thought that he could give people $20 and skip the 2-hour line.
Right.
And he kept saying to people, like, do you like cash? And they were like, what?
Yeah, oh, my God. Yeah, okay. Talk about inappropriate. All right, so they have theme restaurants there, obviously.
Yeah, like fake theme restaurants.
Yeah, fake theme restaurants. One is an Irish pub, okay? There's an Irish pub restaurant. It's a fake Irish restaurant. It's not really an Irish restaurant.
Yeah, the people that work there aren't actually Irish. They're Disney employees.
My dad goes, he's bribing the guy, trying to bribe the guy to get us in early. And then he's telling the hostess that they're Irish, that you're Irish.
Yeah, he's like
the kids are
He's like, we have a real Irish here.
We got real Irish people here. Let us in.
And they're just like, okay.
I'm like, Dad, they don't care that they're really Irish.
You got like embarrassed for me.
Yeah. Like it was so embarrassing.
But whatever, he was just having a fun time. Okay.
All right.
So anyway, that's Disney Springs. Right. What was really funny is we were so lost at one point. We weren't. You were just trying to like herd us in one direction. And then out of nowhere, this like Latin singing group comes on the main stage and they start like just music, like Latin music. And it was amazing. And anybody in the crowd that was Latin just started dancing. And then the kids went crazy. Like Abby's dancing. And then like you're just trying to get us moving. Yes. And we all stopped to take a dance break. And your face when it was supposed to be this like joyful time.
Okay.
You're like, kids moving. Stop dancing.
All right. So
Stop dancing.
So what I did was, so my bread kicked in. We had to eat, okay, and it just wasn't happening. We had our name down at the Irish restaurant. It was like a 2-hour wait.
Yeah.
I put you all in a spot.
You did.
I put you all on these rocking chairs,
yes,
which we actually found. It was unbelievable. And I told you, just wait here. Do not leave this area. Whatever happens, do not leave here.
Right, we didn't.
And then I went off on my own. So, because I'm much quicker that way. I could just go here, there. I could turn. I could go left, right, whatever.
Right.
And I find this restaurant. I go and, they tell me 15 minutes.
Wow.
I put my name right down. I rush back. Everyone was there. I'm surprised you guys all listened to me.
Yes.
But you did. And then we were able to finally eat.
We ate. Yeah.
Yes.
It was good.
Yeah. So that was good.
They did charge $4.50 for a fountain beverage.
Yeah, at least. I think per sip. I think it was $4.50 per sip.
Very expensive.
Every sip you took. Yeah. So we finally ate. Then we decide, all right, let's get some souvenirs. At Disney Springs, they have this massive Disney gift shop.
It's huge.
Huge. There's 10,000 people in there at any given time.
And quite literally 10,000 people.
Okay, so I have the pack behind me, and they're going in, and everyone's going in different directions. I'm trying to keep everyone together. Every time I turn my head, there's at least 3 people missing. Okay? Then I hear my name being shouted across the store, with a megaphone, Scott!
That's your
Scott! Dad. Does this happen with other families? Are they screaming each other's name across the entire store?
I didn't see other people doing that.
No, I didn't see that either.
And then, none of us keep our phones on, so there's no way you'll ever find us, except like an old school way.
Yeah, that's the other thing. So my mom and dad get lost, and my mom's screaming at him, why didn't you pick up the phone? Why didn't you pick up your phone?
Yeah.
And he doesn't keep his phone on. He doesn't even know how to work his phone.
Yeah.
So
it's like herding cats.
Yeah.
In the store.
So,
we finally find things.
Yeah. Abby's picking out the craziest items to buy.
Oh, my God.
$70 for like a hair clip.
The headbands are $35, those Mickey ears.
Yeah.
Well, she got a pair.
She did.
And she refused to put it down.
Right.
I don't know what we would have done. You can't walk in there and say no.
Right.
It's just not going to happen.
So then, so I always get to this point where I'm like, all right, I'll just put them somewhere. And then I'll take one or I'll go myself and figure it out.
Right.
So we got out of that store. We went to another store. I put you all at a bench. I took Bree into the store because she didn't get anything at the first store. We get her something more online. I'm like breathing a little easier. Okay, fine. We got the gifts. Right. All of a sudden, going the opposite direction of the line are my parents.
They're going upstream.
They're going upstream through the line. The line's huge.
Yeah.
And they're screaming, of course, my name. And
Scott, it's a single file line, so that's a tight squeeze during pandemic.
Right. They find us. I'm like, why aren't you in your spot? Just sit in the spot. We'll be there. So finally agree. They'll go back to the spot. Then they go the opposite direction out. So it's like they
didn't learn.
They couldn't learn.
No, they can't learn.
It's just so much. It's
so
so much.
That's Disney Springs. You were herding cats. You were very grumpy.
Right.
And that's how that went.
Okay. So next day.
Epcot day.
Everyone's probably all right.
Everyone's all right, there is a 30-second button.
Yes. Okay.
But we have to do Disney and Auracolor.
Okay. We go to Epcot. We decide we're going to Epcot this year, not the Magic Kingdom. Now, here's the thing with any of these parks. It's 2 hours before you even get into the park.
It's true.
You got to park the car, then you got to walk a mile.
A lot of red rants. First, you got to pay for parking.
And
if you're with a red Aura person, get ready.
Right.
Get ready for that rant.
Right. So you got to pay the $25 for parking.
Hold on. We're just sitting in line because you have to wait in line to actually pay for the parking, which
Correct.
is $25 a car.
Right.
Hundreds of cars. Okay.
Right.
And if you're with a red Aura person, this is what you hear. Look at this. All this money they're making. How do they sleep at night? $25 a car all day long. Millions of dollars. Just going on and on and on and on and on. And take my money. Then you have this dramatic thing where you're take my whole wallet. Take my blood.
If they're going to charge $25 a park and $150 a ticket, my car better get a car wash while it's sitting there. They better pamper that car.
Nothing.
All right. Walk. Now you get to the thing. You got to wait online to get your ticket, show your ticket. Then you got to wait online to show your bag check, whatever.
Yeah.
Blah, blah. Fine, you're in. It's a half hour. Now what? All right. Now we need a stroller because we realized the night before Abby at Disney Springs basically has a quarter mile in her, and then she's done. So we had to get a stroller. We figured we were over the stroller stage, but we're not. No.
And she smushed herself in that stroller. I'll tell you. Right. She understood right away.
Right.
You know what? We're going to just make ourselves fit.
Yeah, I was going to get the electric. I wanted the electric scooter.
No, that would have been a nightmare.
Okay.
Nobody would know how to turn it or park it or do, no.
Okay, and my dad wanted the wheelchair. So we all wanted something different, but we settled on the stroller. So then I forgot my mask because indoors you got to wear your mask at Disney.
Yes.
So I forgot my mask. I'm like, oh my God, do I have to go back to the car? Then I walked into a store. They yelled at me. They're like, you need a mask, sir. I'm like, I don't have one.
They don't really yell. They're like.
Well, they're nice and they're polite.
They have a line there. They're like, put on your mask, friend. That's what they say.
Right.
Everyone says
to me, they knew I was grumpy.
Oh, they just yelled at you?
Yeah.
Get your mask on, jerk.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Disney?
But actually, so I bought one. That was actually the cheapest thing I bought that day. It was $1.50 for those paper ones.
Paper ones. I'm sure they tried to sell you the $30
right, which is
goofy ones.
A box of 50 is $5. So, yeah. Anyway. So by the time you get settled, it's 2 hours, 3 hours in. And then you go in the park, you're like, yay, we're finally here.
We're here.
And then we get to the first ride, and it's another hour and a half wait to see Nemo, scenes from the Nemo movie or whatever.
Yeah.
So
it was our first time at Epcot, and I didn't know what to expect. And I've only ever been to Magic Kingdom. Not that I'm doing a review, but I would say Magic Kingdom is better. I mean, just from a magical perspective, but from a space perspective, Epcot's better.
Yes, I actually like Epcot better than Magic Kingdom because, first of all, in Magic Kingdom, it's strollers are everywhere.
Yes.
You cannot get through because there's so many strollers.
There's way more children. A lot more misery there.
Yeah, because I use my stroller as a battering ram.
You do.
So
that's the other thing. I'm not allowed to push a stroller.
No, you're terrible.
I get That's what I hear.
You can't be an Indigo and push a stroller. Indigos cannot push strollers. They let everyone by.
So I'm the Indigo, and I can't. Like, I move around people and stuff. You push through them.
No, I push through them like butter, like a knife going through butter. That's what I use my stroller for.
You're like those ice cutters in the Antarctic.
That's exactly right. And at Epcot, it works because there's not another 1,000 strollers with you.
Yeah, people move.
Yeah, there's actually space to park your stroller, too.
That's true.
Disney, like, I never was even able to find my stroller once you parked it.
You really do suck the magic out of Disney.
Thank you.
I know you take that as a compliment. Like, honestly, like, I go and Abby and I are like, oh my God, look at this. Look where the princess is. We see Winnie the Pooh. And you're like, come on, keep walking. And I'm like, but it's Winnie the Pooh. I want to, it's a guy in a costume. Come on, keep walking. I'm like, stop it. It's Winnie the Pooh. Like, ruining it for me.
Yeah. There is a lot less misery at Epcot. I was pretty good compared to Magic Kingdom.
That's true.
Because at Disney, like, everyone looks miserable.
Well,
with the kids, everyone.
Yeah.
Like,
well, you pay all this money and your kids are crying.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to happen.
There's crying kids everywhere.
Yeah.
Epcot, they don't have that as much.
Well, there's more adults at Epcot, I think, and maybe older children. It's really not for kids as much, Epcot, I would say. They don't care about the Europe or anything.
That's true.
Like that.
But,
well, what we did notice was there's a definite successful aura type at Disney, and it's yellow, blue, or yellow purple.
That's the dominant color we're saying.
Dominant color. I would also say the greens do well at Disney, and I think the reason why. And this is because, like I said, we had a yellow in our group, but a 1995 yellow. You know, he stopped at a certain point. And he didn't know that you had to download the Disney app and make reservations. If he knew that, everything would have been set up. But he doesn't understand how to do that. But anyways, and I think, like, because I don't care to do that, nor can I even handle making reservations. Because you're supposed to, like, when you get your ticket, you're supposed to, like, download the app. And then, I don't know, there are certain points, I don't know when, you can, like, schedule what rides to go on for yourself. You can schedule restaurants to eat at. You could have done all that, like, a day or 2 or 3 before.
Well, I did download that app.
Yeah, but we didn't use it.
Yeah, because everything they wanted, like, $10 here, $20 here, my left arm there.
I know.
Everything was, like, pay.
Oh, my God. The Red Rants. Just because now you have to pay for, there's no Fast Pass anymore. It's Lightning Pass or something, and you pay $15 a person to skip the line.
This is my problem with it. Okay.
Okay. Go.
The park is fantastic. Actually, Epcot I thought was a fantastic park. Beautiful.
It is
the grounds are beautiful. It's set up well. Here's the problem: they let so many people in.
They do.
That you cannot enjoy it. It's just too many people. Like they're greedy. They're just so greedy. It's like if you could just let, I don't know, let's say 75% of the people, then we could actually get, sample the foods. We wouldn't have to wait 2 hours for the restaurant line. But they let so many people in that it just doesn't become enjoyable for me.
Yeah.
So it could be a great place.
So imagine hearing this 20 times in one day when you're just trying to eat a Mickey Mouse pretzel or something.
Well, you can't even get one of those.
That was the Epcot.
Yeah.
But, you're right, though, because I think the cast members are a little drained, too, because of too many people.
They look drained.
So they do look drained. They felt drained to me.
Yeah.
They felt drained, like they have to be this, like, most magical experience giver to every single person, but it's too many people to make, like, a Disney magic moment with. That is true.
Yeah. I mean, like, for me, look, it just, when I'm in this kind of environment and I got this whole crew behind me, my red comes out more. And I don't like the version of who I am. Now that I know that I'm like this red-blue guy who, has that sensitive side and cries on podcasts.
Right.
So,
but at Disney, you're like a tyrant.
Yeah, because it just,
you're like, stop looking at things.
The elements.
But I want, we kind of look up. We're trying to look at the Europe places. Like, oh, look at this. And you just, come on, move. Okay, I have to keep moving. Come on. And you're like 10 steps ahead, and nobody wants to leave you because then we won't know where we are. So we keep following. You're like a mother lion. Like, we know we have to follow you.
All right. Well, after we did get, as much as we could in. Oh, here's the, okay.
Okay. Here we go.
I mean, I remember we're probably way over the time here, but.
Well, they can fast forward.
They have the Ratatouille line, which is like this new attraction.
Terrible.
And you couldn't even go on it.
Because we're not yellow.
We walked up and they're like, no. Like, what do you mean? We paid like $1,000 to get in here. I can't go on the Ratatouille line?
No. Because it's a virtual queue and you were supposed to sign up for your time in line. By the way, you sign up for your chunk of time to wait.
Yeah.
So, like, I think the day before or something, you sign up I don't know. That could totally be wrong. But you have to sign up before you even get in the park on the app. And they just give you a chunk of time. And then I think you're allowed to go wait for your 2 hours. But there was no room when we got there.
Right.
And they said, yeah.
All right. So now the culminating event.
Oh,
okay. So after a whole day of being yelled at, trying to find you guys, going from here to here, waiting on lines all day long.
Yes.
It's like the fireworks are at 9:45.
Right.
It's 9 o'clock. We haven't eaten dinner
since lunch.
Because you can't because everything's a 3-hour wait.
Yeah.
So Bree said, hey, I remember seeing a pretzel hot dog stand back in Germany.
Right.
So we're like, all right, let's go. So we went all the way from the beginning of the park. Again, Germany's like in the middle.
This is our second loop.
Right. Second time going around. And me and Bree go off. We're like 20, I don't know, how far ahead are we? We're
Red's
really
aligned. You guys are just going.
We're just going for it. We're going to find the line, and then you'll catch up. You know where we're going.
Right.
We get to the spot. Me and Bree are like, it was in America. We're like, thank God.
Yeah, like you guys go past every single other country where there were things to eat, but nobody wanted to eat there.
Right.
And then if of course you guys end up in the America.
Yeah, we thought it was in Germany, but it was in America.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would have eaten at any of the other places too, but it was just like there was Morocco. They weren't going to eat like the shrimp kebab.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, but fine.
They're not eating sushi and stuff.
We get to America. They have a hot dog, pretzel, and turkey leg stand.
Oh my God.
Me and Bree are high-fiving.
Yeah.
We did it for everyone. Bree's that red aura too.
Yeah.
We're there.
You're like chest bump. We could get it.
We get in the line. We don't want my mom there. We tell her, go get the table.
Oh God.
Because I don't eat a turkey leg.
I don't
eat a hot dog.
Yeah.
I don't eat a pretzel. Too much salt.
Yeah.
I mean, we're at the point like, no, you're going to eat something.
You're going to eat something.
Or you're eating nothing.
You just eat what they have.
Right.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'll eat nothing.
Okay.
And then her and my dad are having a fight about the turkey leg.
Oh, by the way, there's 30 people in line, and they're having a fight about this stuff. And they have it like where one person's outside of the line and one person's inside of the line, and they're screaming at each other, and there's like 3 people deep that have to listen to this.
Right. So we finally get to the front of the line.
Right.
And I'm going to order like 5 hot dogs and pay like $200 for this.
Well, there's a newlywed couple in front of you.
Oh, yeah, there's a couple right in front of us.
Forgot that.
Yes, a newlywed couple having the time of their life.
They're in love.
They're in love. I don't know if they are anymore. My mom comes up right in front of their face.
Right in front of them.
Starts screaming
as if they're invisible.
I don't want a turkey leg. There might be barbecue sauce on it. We're trying to tell her there's no barbecue sauce on it.
Your dad asked a random person who was holding a turkey leg if there was barbecue sauce on it. She's like, no. Why are you talking to me?
Anyway, so the newlywed couple is getting the news and they're delivering it.
Yeah.
So no turkey legs. We're out of turkey legs.
Yeah, they turn around. They're like, hey, there's no turkey legs. Oh, my God.
Okay.
Your mom lost it. She's like, what? What? I was like, we thought you didn't want one. She's like, there's no turkey legs. Like, she freaked out. So we're getting hot dogs. We're like, okay, well, we'll just get the hot dogs.
Okay. Then the lady behind the counter says, that was our last hot dog.
And then your mom just really lost it.
We all lost it at that point. Like, I'm freaking out now.
You're like, Disney's greedy. Disney's greedy. The kids start crying.
Right.
Because it's so stressful. Abby's in the stroller. She lost it at this point. She's crying hysterically. She's like, everyone's so stressful. I took her and I'm like, just get us pretzels. And I took her away.
So
Bree's laughing hysterically because it's just so awful.
Right. Oh, and by the way, they went in the line the wrong way again.
They did.
They did.
Well, they were having a fight between the newlywed couple. Okay.
All right. So anyway, we get like the 5 pretzels. We spend the $700.
It was very expensive for 5 pretzels.
5 waters were like $80.
It was very expensive.
And we got her an ice cream cone just to keep her quiet. But
when they didn't have chocolate and only vanilla, it was a mess. It was another scene.
Yeah. And then as, I'm eating my pretzel, which is very good. It's fine. And I just whisper in your ear, it's going to be another 5 years.
You're like, don't ask me for another 5 years.
5 years. 5 years. But anyway, we did get the fireworks show. Actually, they have a fantastic fireworks show. It's an incredible fireworks show. And actually, because I really hate fireworks, that's another thing with me. Don't like the fireworks July 4th,
God.
But that fireworks show was impressive. And I actually shaved a year off. So 4 years. 4 years.
All right. Well, that was our Disney adventure. Obviously, you want to go now. I want to go back. It wasn't bad.
All right. We have a couple of ads, and you're going to do your thing.
Yeah.
And then after that, we're going to read some of your aura colors. We're going to pick out some from that thread we did on the Mystic Michaela Spiritual Family page and tell you your colors.
Okay. I'm always so excited when Skillshare is a sponsor of our podcast because I really use it. It's been such a gift to my family. My kids use it. What is it? It's an online learning community that offers membership with meaning. With so much to explore, real projects to create, and the support of fellow creatives, Skillshare empowers you to accomplish real growth. I've talked about this class before. It's just, I can't say enough about it. It's so good. It's video for Instagram, tell an engaging story in less than a minute with Halise. She teaches you how to really present a story in less than a minute. Her digital storytelling series is really helpful, very applicable for all sorts of different reasons. And really why I like Skillshare is it creates catalysts in your mind for creation. When you create, you find yourself, you become more of yourself. So important. So whether you're a dabbler or a pro, a hobbyist or a master, you are creative. You can discover what makes you that way with classes for every skill level. You don't have to be some sort of master to do this. You can be a beginner level like myself. And Skillshare is super affordable, especially when compared to pricey in-person classes and workshops. An annual subscription is less than $10 a month. And if you have kids, they'll use it. Trust me. So explore your creativity at Skillshare.com/KYA and get a 1-month free trial of premium membership. You can try it. That's 1 month of a premium membership at Skillshare.com/KYA. So during this holiday season, Everlywell can help you give more by gifting an Everlywell at-home lab test. You're giving your loved ones more comfort, clarity, self-discovery, and joy in well-being. Everlywell offers affordable at-home lab tests that give you trusted, physician-reviewed results. You can choose from tests including food sensitivity, metabolism, sleep and stress, thyroid, and so much more. Here's how it works. Everlywell ships your test straight to your door with everything needed for a simple sample collection. You return the test to a CLIA certified lab with a prepaid shipping label. Then your physician-reviewed results and insights are sent to your device in just days. Over 1 million people have trusted Everlywell with their at-home lab testing. It came to my door. I got the food sensitivity test in just a few minutes. I completed it, sent it out. My results were given right to my phone. And such insight, such helpful information, and it just took a lot off of my mind. It answered a lot of questions for me, and you can give that to the people in your life. This holiday, give more of what matters with an Everlywell at-home lab test. And for our listeners, Everlywell is offering a special discount of 20% off an at-home lab test at everlywell.com/KYA. That's everlywell.com/KYA for 20% off your at-home lab test. That's everlywell.com/KYA. I don't think there's any accidents in life. And being able to talk about the angel numbers on the 111th episode of our podcast here, I feel like is one of those non-accidents in life. So yes, I wrote the Angel Numbers book, and in part 1, I explain all about angel numbers and what they are and what it means when you get one and who's sending them to you. And in part 2, there's an entire codex of each number and my interpreted meaning of each one. And in part 3 is a journal for you to do the work as you start seeing them in your life. But today I wanted to talk about, I guess, the behind the scenes of what angel numbers are, what they mean to you, what the biggest takeaways of them are, and what you need to remember when you see them in your life, because that's the most important thing. My goal for you is to take ownership over the relationship you have with the high vibrational beings sending you these messages and understand what they mean and really apply them to your life so that you can live authentically and aligned. So let's start. So yes, my goal with writing the book was, it's about you. It really is. You can look up, oh my gosh, I keep seeing this number. You know, what does it mean? You can look it up. You can look at my stuff. You can look at somebody else's stuff. You can look online. At the end of the day, your angels are your angels. And they're sending you a message specific to you. And of course, it might be something that there's a collective consciousness meaning for that kind of aligns throughout or holds a thread that goes throughout. But truly, you have to interpret it for you, and you have to personalize it for you. And that's really important. And that's a big discernment I want everyone to make. It's not a one-size-fits-all message. It's going to be tailored to you. So what are angels? I mean, you can call them whatever you want. You can, I'll use the word angels. You can insert, high vibrational beings, spirit guides, your higher self, the universe, whatever it is you want to put in there. That's what angels are. And the point of seeing their messages is to help you reach your potential. I mean, you could even, because not everybody likes to think about them as angels. Maybe you want to think of them as your higher consciousness speaking to you. Maybe you want to think of it as a universal love, a being of love sending you messages. You can think about it however you want. The point is, no matter who's sending them to you, it's supposed to get you to realize and live with your potential, within your potential. They want you to keep your soul contract intact. What is a soul contract? A soul contract is basically your list of objectives of what you needed to do when you first came here. And when you're hitting your objectives, you feel aligned. Aligned can feel whole. You can feel content and peaceful. I'm not going to say happy, because happy only occurs in moments. Wholeness is something that we need to strive for. And when you're living an aligned life to your soul contract or to your initial objectives for coming here, or basically you're just living out your purpose, your potential, you're living within context to allow you to express yourself in the best way possible, you are feeling something, and that's connected. And they want you to feel connected. This is a classroom. It really is. I am blessed enough to be able to do beautiful mediumship readings for my clients. And like I always say, when somebody passes, you become the medium yourself. We all have this ability. But just because I get to talk to so many different people from so many different walks of life, and I get to channel so many people on the other side that aren't related to me or anything, it's interesting the cohesive messages I get from a lot of them. And the biggest one would be, this is a classroom. I just read a woman the other day, and she's an older woman, and she's struggling with her very much adult children. I mean, this woman's in her 80s. The children are in their 50s, okay? And her husband passed. And he passed suddenly, and he really left her with these two children who are causing her so much turmoil. I mean, just constant. They're still acting like they're 6 years old, and she's doing everything for them in their life. And he came through basically just apologizing, but also with like, sorry, because this should have been squashed like 30 years ago, and it wasn't. So I kind of left you with our children that were never taught to look out for themselves. I always squashed the issues for them. But a big message I got from him was, and it's hard to explain. I guess it's something I just feel from a lot of these people, but from this person in particular, it's the same feeling you get when you flunked your class in like your freshman year of college, or like your algebra class. You're like, ooh, yeah, that wasn't good. I flunked that. Oops, man, gonna have to redo that. Did not do my best there. Lots of things I could have done differently. That's the feeling I got. And what it is perspective, really. This is a classroom, and we go through life, and sometimes we flunk certain areas, And on the other side, we have an opportunity, I feel, they don't show me everything but to reflect and to gain perspective and to take notes and to take a lot of personal responsibility. And if you can realize that now, this is the gift I've gotten from doing readings for people. If you can realize this now, that everything that goes on is truly a test and it's truly an opportunity to be the best version of yourself that you can. And yeah, you're going to have pitfalls, but what's important is, can you get yourself out of them? That's the message. So when I feel, angel messages, a lot of it is very truthful and very straightforward. And a lot of the messages you'll get via angel numbers are the same. Because what they want you to do is to wake up, notice where you're at, get some perspective, and nudge you on the right path. There's lots of things that get in the way of that. Your ego doesn't want you to change. It likes you to stay the same. So, when it hears truth, or when you get pointed in a direction that's like a whole new project and you really don't feel like dropping all the things that you did to move on to something else. I mean, that's all stuff that you fight against in your psyche. But your angels, who have the perspective going on, who have your soul contract in mind, who are working with your higher self, like, hey, nudge you, hey, you're supposed to be doing this, not that. They're not shy about telling you the truth, and they don't sugarcoat it. So a lot of times angel numbers, the way that they come to you are abrupt. They're major repetition. You will not see it just once or twice. You'll see it all over the place, to the point of almost like, wow, okay. They're aggressive. They're assertive. They will, and the more open you are, the more you'll notice it too. Because this is no joke. It's just get it together. Just like in class, when you see the slacking student, or maybe you were the slacker student, it's like, you know what? Enough excuses. Study, put the work in, and do your best. And a lot of times these angel numbers are pretty much telling you the same thing. Sometimes they come through and they give you support. Hey, we're here. Hey, we love you. You're not alone. Sometimes they're like that too. So the point is, for most of them, is it's kind of just like a nudge from beyond to get you back on track. If you're going to go through this life and you're going to hit potholes and you're going to feel pain, they want you to get the most out of it, at least, that it's not in vain. So a lot of times when we're going through something, we're going to see angel numbers that are telling us like, hey, look at the bigger picture, or take your lesson from it, or take your reflection or personal responsibility, or understand that this is just a short time and the goal is about something else. It's a very fifth dimensional goal. It's about being the best version of yourself in this lifetime. And the rewards don't always hit you in the 3D. Sometimes the rewards are in the 5D, meaning a lot of inward revelations can be gifted to you versus things other people might count as blessings instead. So again, angel numbers come, especially when we're going through times where a lot of reflection, turmoil, sometimes pain, sometimes transition, when we feel very lost. These times are very hard, but it's also interesting because the hard times open us up. They crack us open, and your angels look for those opportunities to come in and be like, oop, now I can talk to you, because you're looking, you're seeking. You're in kind of a hole. And so you're looking for any way out. And that's an easier time for them to kind of get you versus the happier times. Okay, so basically the relationship with your angels is your own. And this is a big thing I want to stress. Yes, angel numbers, they come to us all. Sometimes I'll see 222, you'll see 222. They might have a general same meaning, like angel trust fall for both of us. But for you, it's because you're going through something and I'm going through something different. So it's going to be changed. The meaning's going to vary for either of us because our angels are ours. Mine aren't yours and yours aren't mine. You have your own special team. When I do readings for people, I always get my messages from your angels, your spirit guides, and loved ones on the other side. And those are your people. Like when we hang up the phone, it's done. Like they're with you. They're always with you. They came from you. They're going back to you. I'm like the phone. I always say that. I'm like the phone. They use me to just say something to you and then we're done. I'm the vehicle in which message can be transferred to you. But listen, there's 100 ways a day that same message is trying to come through you, because your angels are constantly with you, trying to get you to listen and hear them. And a lot of times people ask, hey, what's my angel's name? What are my spirit guides' names? What do they look like? And, I know other readers do different things. Just speaking from my own self and the way that I work, your angels are yours. So I joke sometimes they're a little elitist because they'll give me the information, but they're not cozying up with me, being BFFs with me. We're exchanging information, and then they go back to you. So sometimes I'll get glimpses of them or whispers of a name or something, but honestly, they're yours. And I think that that's the way it should be. They're focused on you. They are committed to your soul contract and your higher consciousness self ability and, what's the word? Determination to get it all done. So they're committed to you. So yes, your relationship with your angels are your own. By the way, they do have a sense of humor. The more you interact with your angels, the more you're going to see it. So you have to kind of just be open to it. You got to see things differently, and you have to laugh, because what I noticed is the sense of humor on the other side from these higher vibrational beings are very mic drop empath. Like, listen, I see what you're going through, but here's the truth, and love it or leave it, but here we go. Now move on, or don't. We're not going to sit here and coddle you. That's kind of how they are. And when you figure it out, they're funny about it. They will definitely get the last word. They're kind of like your snarky best friend who loves you, but still is like, well, I told you so. And that's kind of the vibe I get generally from the other side in readings and in my own life and whatnot. So the big thing is resonating. And when I talk about resonating, I mean that in any reading and anything that you're doing, in any spiritual work, religion, anything. It has to resonate. What does resonate mean? Resonate is when you hear something and there's this part inside of you that just unwraps. There's a part inside of you that just unlocks. There's a part inside of you that just says, whoa, yeah, that's right. And it's so automatic. That's what it feels like when something resonates with you. And you can always ask other people, hey, what do you think? I got these numbers. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? But at the end of the day, it has to resonate with you. And it might take some work to understand. And I talk about this in the book. What exactly am I trying to be told? What exactly am I not hearing? What do I have walls up to changing or to hearing? What walls up to truth do I have right now? And then once something resonates, though, it just melts all that away, and you just know. And with anything, any message you ever get from anyone or any connection you have spiritually or religiously, it has to resonate. Resonating is your way of knowing that it's true for you. It's true for you. And that's really what we're going for with these angel number things. We want to feel that resonating, that connection, that inner truth, that unlocking. That's the gift of angel numbers. It's kind of like, okay, I believe it. I'm here. I feel it. I'm on the same vibration now. And I'm ready. I surrender to my soul contract. What's next? What do I have to see? Every angel number that you get is about a present situation. I can't stress that more than enough. Whatever's on, every day we go through something and there's always something in the back of our mind. Maybe it's someone that we love. Maybe it's someone that won't love us back. Maybe it's a financial thing. Maybe it's grief. There's something kind of like the main theme of the main, I guess, storyline in our mind every day. Sometimes it's like a story arc. It's just something that's always going on. But your angel numbers are usually talking directly to that. It's the present situation on your mind. Sometimes it's the one fueling everything. So when you see one, think about, well, what's going on right now? And does that apply to it? And usually you'll just do that automatically because, like, let's be honest, if you're having financial problems and you see something, you're like, see a number, that's what you're going to attribute it to. And that's right. Or if you see a number and you're having a unrequited love situation with your twin flame, that's exactly what it's about. So don't question it. It's the first thing that pops up because that's the thing. It kind of brings out whatever's on your mind. There's always some sort of call to action when you see an angel number. So you don't just, so a lot of times you're like, you see it and you're like, okay, now what? Like, now what? Well, in my book, I give a call to action for each number because I felt that was really important to do the work. See, when you get a message, now you got to go do something, and in my book, I give lots of ideas for each different number, but even if you just want to do it on your own, it's just some call to action. A call to action could be just taking 5 minutes and thinking about it. A call to action could be writing a new mantra and post-it noting it to your computer screen. A call to action could be calling a friend or organizing your closet or stop procrastinating getting that oil change. I mean, sometimes it's just a call to action just means go do something now that makes you feel like you listened. It's giving that energy out to the universe. I receive it and now I put action towards it. It makes the universe, 100 times more confident in sending you opportunities. Because anything that you do small, you do big. So if you can show the universe that you respond to good advice with positive actions, they'll send you more good advice, and then you'll do more positive actions, and they'll send you opportunities. They'll send you people because they know when you get it, you do something for it. The universe does not like to give you things when you don't pay it forward, when you don't take that information and make yourself better or others better for it. So anytime you see any number, even if it's 111, oh, I'm seeing 111. That's so cool. I saw it all day today. What does that mean? That means, screenshot. All right, get my mindset kind of right. Let's start, I'm going to write down 3 things that I'm grateful for right now. Or you're driving. I'm going to list 3 things I'm grateful for right now out loud. Boom. There, call to action. You showed the universe that you got a message and you're doing something with it and you're open. It's just like when you have a friend and you give them advice and they're just like, oh, and then they just go do whatever they were doing anyways. You're like, wow, okay, well, don't ask me if you're not going to do anything with it. Because it's like you feel drained when you give advice that you were asked for and a friend doesn't do anything with it. It's draining for you. And what does it make you feel? It makes you feel like you don't want to help them anymore. Well, the universe is the same way. If they're giving you advice and you just like, never mind, I'm not doing it. Like the universe is like, well, all right, forget it. Not helping you anymore. You drained me. And they just walk right away from you. So you want to be receptive to that energy. Trust me, it helps a lot. The next thing I wanted to talk about is good fear versus bad fear. The truth hurts. We all know that. The truth hurts. The truth sometimes really hurts. The more you get it, though, the more you crave that hurt. Like, oh, yeah, that's a good pain, because there's good pain and bad pain, too. And the truth can give you that good pain. Like, And your angels love that. They love to give you that. They kind of want to desensitize you to being defensive against it. I'm sure you can imagine older versions of yourself, or perhaps a current version of yourself. When you hear something you don't want to hear, maybe you used to get defensive, immediately defensive. Man, your angels love to push a button. Okay. So as soon as you get that way, they'll just give you 10 more scenarios where you're going to get that way, because they want to desensitize you to feeling defensive. It's much easier over time, and they will wear you down when they send you a message and it hurts. Maybe, back to the unrequited love thing. Maybe now you're seeing this guy and he said all these things to you, but you see him all of a sudden, you get information that he's moved on with somebody else. Man, that hurts. That's not good, but he said all these things to me. How can I let it go? He told me all these things. Didn't he mean it? And your mind goes in cycles, and your angels are like, I just showed you that time to move on. And then if you don't, they'll show you 100 more ways to move on. And it hurts every time. They want to desensitize you to the point where you see something like that and you're like, yep, I got the memo and I am moving on. They want to get you to that point. So there's good pain, bad pain, and there's good fear and bad fear. When they send you numbers, so many times I hear people saying, oh my gosh, I'm seeing 333 all over the place. I'm so scared. Because what happens is the numbers will follow you. And it can be a little disconcerting because, like, you're not used to it, or you're feeling, like, watched, or you're like, oh, my gosh, does this mean something bad's going to happen to me? Now, 333 means balance, and it's a lovely number. But really what they're trying to tell you with that repetition is pay attention. Your ego is the part that can make you have the fear. Because your ego does not want you to change or grow or learn new things or listen to your angels or take good advice. Your ego loves you to get defensive and keep doing the same thing over and over again. Like, that's your ego's best day. So when you start seeing these things that are kind of going to be a catalyst if you let it in, your ego is like, oop, activate the fear. Well, that's good fear. All right. That's a good fear. You listen to that. Your angels will never send you something that would give you the bad fear. Bad fear is like actual fear. Like, I probably shouldn't drive, when I've had a few and it's, like that is the good fear. We listen to that fear. I'm going to call an Uber. That's not being chicken. That's being listening to the ego for good. All right. So that's great stuff. But the bad fear is, oh my gosh, I'm not going to journal or listen to this or pay more attention or be better of a person. That's the good fear. So we listen to that. We don't listen to that, and we just move through it. But your angels will never send you scary stuff. They don't try to be scary. They're really, if anything, just a little sarcastic and very, like I said, mic drop snarky. But they're not nasty at all. They love you, and it's kind of like. This is funny. It's kind of like, you have that friend and you're like, listen, make sure I don't, you're going out with your girlfriend and that guy's going to be there. And you're like, and you tell your friend, like, whatever happens, make sure I don't drink too much and hit on him. Like, whatever happens, you make sure that I don't drink too much and make a fool out of myself and go hit on him because he's a jerk and we all know it. But my drunk self doesn't know it. And your friend's like, yeah, I got you. And then you get there and then your friend sees you drinking too much and then making your way over there. And your friend's like, what the heck? That's like your angels. And that's like you in this lifetime. The annoying drunk friend who's doing stuff that you made them promise to make sure you didn't do. So what's the sober wing person friend going to do? They're going to get snarky. And that's like your angels, they're like, listen, like, we made this soul contract before you came down here. You said to watch out, to make sure you didn't do this stupid stuff or talk to this person from your soul family, or you learn this lesson already and not have to learn it 100 times. And they're just like, listen, you asked me to, so here I am. So that's kind of like the relationship if you think of it that way. The deal is you have to build the bond with your angels. And like and you can do this in so many ways, but they want you to talk back to them. So when you're seeing all these numbers, start doodling them. Use them in your passwords. Use them in your screen names. Make a background on your phone with them. Start signing your name with them. I mean, make art with them, create with them, draw them, paint them, whatever. Do something to kind of put that energy back out there too. There's also nothing wrong with asking your angels for clarity. This is not a one-way conversation. They absolutely want you to ask them, like, hey, what'd this mean? Or what'd that mean? And it's okay to do that. You can say it out loud. You have to be very purposeful when you ask them. Like, I need you to give me a sign either way that I can interpret as a yes or no, or if I'm on the right path or not. And it's something that then you have to be open to how they answer you back, because they could use numbers, they can use other people, they can use nature symbols, they can use all sorts of things. They can grab your attention. All of a sudden you notice a billboard, or you open your phone at the right second, you see this post. There's so many things that they can use to send you your response, but you have to be open to it. And on a final note, being open, sometimes our ego will trick us into not being open, because it'll tell us that we're foolish or silly or gullible or dumb, or I don't know, there's woke or so many negative things. And I think how I use it is, honestly, being open-minded is smart in all contexts of life. There's nothing wrong with listening. You listen with an open mind, and you take it in, and you just consider it. And if it resonates, it stays. And if it doesn't, it just leaves you. No big deal. So being open-minded is actually a very intelligent way to be, if you think about it. People who shut everything down out of fear that they're going to be or look a certain way or get taken advantage of actually get taken advantage of. People who aren't scared of that don't, because you have an open mind. Okay, I hope this helped you understand what my purpose in writing the Angel Numbers book was, and how I feel your relationship with your angels can be strengthened, and how you have a personal relationship with them. They are yours, and go out and do that today. Strengthen that relationship with the high vibrational beings around you that truly just want you to live your authentic, aligned, and best life. Hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys.
So what do you think?
All right. So, I've been working on building my relationship with my spirit guides.
Yes.
Phoebe and me. Everyone knows Phoebe by now. It's strained. And I've actually thought about seeing if I can get someone else, a new person.
You put in for a transfer?
Yeah, maybe I could bribe them or something. Maybe give them a $20 bill like my dad to get it to the rest.
Do you like cash?
He likes cash, yeah, or whatever. So I don't know. We'll see. But
yeah.
All right. Well,
I'm glad you took it seriously.
I always do. Well, I was so red from that Disney trip. I got to let the blue back in. I got to get back to my normal self.
Right.
And, by my jovial self, the leader of the jovial cult. And, all right. So for we're on 111, our 111 episode.
Yay.
And, let's do a few aura color reads here. And the first one we had, these were people from the Mystic Michaela Spiritual Family page. Mm-hmm. They put these in on a thread we have going. And here we go. Joanna H.
Yes.
She writes, "Thank you both for such an amazing job. I'm blessed to be able to hear your podcast and learn so much from it. It really...
I think she's trying to say it really heightens her vibration.
It really higher her vibration. She'd be honored to hear her colors from us. And she lives in Sweden. All the way from Sweden.
That's so cool that someone lives in
cool.
Sweden. Okay. So Joanna is purple and blue.
She's purple blue.
Yes.
All right. We have Heather, and she is wearing a Drew... This is interesting because the next two. She's wearing a Drew Brees jersey from the Saints, who played the Bills last night and lost.
Oh.
She said, that might affect the color, but I think the picture was taken
right.
earlier. So Heather W. writes, "I don't know my colors yet. I've been told that I might be blue and purple, but I'd love to know. I love you guys and your podcast."
Well, you are blue and purple.
And
so
you are blue and purple. Okay.
That's awesome.
That's great. The next one is interesting because she's wearing a Bills jersey.
Whoa. She's
Nicole F. And she writes, "Go Bills. I posted my review but didn't know how to put it on a row." That might be some weird going on with the yellow then.
Yeah, I don't quite understand.
"Stumped on my colors and hoping after a Bills win, you may want to pick me. Go Bills. Love the Bills and your podcast."
Oh.
What does she love more, the podcast or the Bills, though?
You have to love the Bills more.
No, you have to love the podcast more.
I'm sorry. I'm just too Buffalonian for that.
Oh, boo. All right.
You have to.
No. KYA is so much better than the Bills.
Oh,
right.
No, I can't.
I'm going to get some hate DMs.
I can't. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, Nicole. So you're purple and blue with a little, like, inauthentic yellow. It's a tinge.
That might be that yellow comment in there.
Could be. Okay.
All right. Christine S. writes, "I've been dying to know what my aura is. My cousin is convinced I'm indigo and I have to know if she's right.
She's right. You're indigo and purple, a little inauthentic red, okay. Which I'll see on indigos sometimes.
All righty. Got a couple more here. We have Sky K, and she writes, has anyone ever else thought about how it's like our lives are stuck in a game? Jumanji. Well, this is interesting. Okay.
Yeah, she got deep. Where MM and Scotty are helping us with every episode to win the game and set us free. So she knows what she's trying to say.
No, I have no idea.
Yeah, I know. I'll interpret it for you.
Tell me.
She's trying to say, like, Jumanji is your metaphor for the 3D world.
Oh.
And every time you say the word Jumanji, you're tearing off, metaphorically, a layer of your 3D self instead of clothing. She just made you intelligent.
Sky, you are my new favorite listener. That is what I was trying to do the entire time. Yes. Now, someone here's the thing. I didn't want to say it myself. I didn't want to, I wanted people to, when sometimes I'll tell a joke and then I'll tell the joke after you get annoyed with me.
Yes.
No, I wanted people to figure that out. And Sky did.
Oh, right.
She figured out that every clothing piece is a layer.
There you go.
Thank you,
that's
Sky.
like in books, like literature. When 100, 200, 300 years after it's written, like people still find meanings what the author meant. And it's like, did they?
No.
Did they mean that?
That's what I meant.
Well, Sky is turquoise and purple.
Oh, of course. Perfect. Just like our Abby.
Yes.
All right. Grace F writes, I love the KYA podcast more than the Bills and the space MM and Scott hold for this community. It's so great. Grace
is yellow and blue.
Yellow and blue. Okay.
I love yellow blues.
All right, we have two more here. Jasmine B writes, hi, I'm new to the group and to this podcast. I discovered KYA about a week ago. Oh, new listener. Okay. You have a lot of catching up there, Jasmine. 110 episodes.
Yeah.
It's been life-changing, to say the least. I find each episode so captivating, and I'm enjoying the journey of learning about auras.
Oh.
I have a funny story as how I got into it, but I suspect my colors are purple and yellow, but who knows? Well, I want to hear the story of how you got into it. Love the podcast.
Well, she is purple and yellow.
She's purple
I love when people, a lot of you do know your own colors. Because, I put it out there so much, with so many examples. I'm really trying to make it accessible for you to read yourself. So when people do that, I'm like, yay, that's great. It's working.
All right.
It's awesome.
And we do want to hear that story.
Yes.
All right, our last and final one. Petro H's brother. Petro H's brother, and he writes, his name is Paul Herbowitz. Paul Herbowitz. Okay, I'm looking at his pic. I didn't give you this one, so I'll do it myself. And he's looking very, 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 very blue. He looks like he needs
Paul Herbowitz?
Paul Herbowitz. He says he's Petro H's brother.
Is he now?
I guess he's Petro Hanchar. I'm assuming his brother.
So Petro Hanchar is like the purple red, Rico Suave type.
Yeah.
Is Paul Herbowitz? Is he like a nerd?
From his picture, he looks like. Yeah, he looks like he might have asthma. He looks like he might complain about the air, like it might be dry or something. Paul H. Yeah.
Is he you?
No, it's not me. All right. Let's end this thing.
Thank you everybody, so much for hanging out with us on our 111th episode. This podcast is for you and about you, and we're so grateful for you all. And take care.
If you want to be the most interesting person at the cocktail party, well, hop on over and listen to the Brain Candy podcast.
Our award-winning content will have you laughing while you're learning.
We read all the best articles, books, and studies and keep up with new TV shows, documentaries, and pop culture. And then we cram it all into 2 shows a week.
Conspiracy theories, cannibal rabbits, unsolved mysteries, the history of the Walkman. There's something for everyone.
The Brain Candy podcast. Find our link in the show notes.
Or simply search for the Brain Candy podcast on your podcast app.